I'm Celeste, 32, sitting at our family's Sunday brunch, the clatter of plates weaving through the sweet scent of maple syrup and freshly brewed coffee. Sunlight filters through lace curtains, casting delicate shadows across the oak table, its grain worn from years of gatherings. Mom Diane laughs, her new diamond earrings glinting, a gift from my sister's fiancé Preston, their sparkle sharp in the morning light. Her voice cuts through sharp and careless. "We've sold your house," she says, as if it's no more than swapping a recipe to fund Natasha's dream wedding. My fork slips clattering against the plate, the sound ringing like a bell in my ears. My house, my sanctuary bought with every dime I scraped from late-night diner shifts, every dream poured into its walls. Gone. My chest tightens, the room tilting as I stare, waiting for her to take it back. How could they do this to me? Stay with me to hear how this betrayal unfolds. Where are you watching from? Hit like, subscribe, and let's walk this road together. My heart hammers, the clink of dishes fading to a low hum as Mom's words echo in my skull, each syllable a weight. She sits there, her face calm, almost smug, like she's just checkmated me in a game I didn't know we were playing. Dad Harold pushes scrambled eggs around his plate. The forks scrape, grating against the silence. His eyes fixed downward, avoiding mine like I'm a stranger. I swallow, my throat dry as sandpaper, my voice barely holding. "Diane, what do you mean you sold my house?" She sighs, setting her coffee mug down with a deliberate clink, the ceramic catching the light, her fingers brushing her new bracelet. "It's just a house, Celeste. Natasha's happiness matters more. You'll understand when you're older, have a family of your own." I blink, her words sinking like cold stones, heavy and sharp. My mind reels back to 4 years ago, 28, standing in my Craftsman home paint roller in hand, the walls turning a soft blue I'd agonized over for weeks, flipping through swatches under the hardware store's fluorescent lights. The smell of fresh paint filled the air. The creaky porch step I fixed myself, squeaking under my weight, the lavender I planted in the garden, blooming each spring, its scent wrapping around me like a promise. Every cent came from late nights at the diner, tips counted in crumpled bills, dreams poured into every corner, every nail. I push my chair back, the legs screeching across the hardwood, the sound sharp cutting through the room's warmth. "Mom, you can't be serious. That's my home. You had no right." Her eyes narrow, a flicker of annoyance crossing her face before her voice softens, syrupy and patronizing. "Celeste, don't make a scene. The papers are signed. Natasha deserves this, and you're strong enough to handle it." Her words sting like a slap I didn't see coming, dismissing everything I've built. I look to Dad, my chest tight, begging for him to speak, to fix this, to be the father who once carried me on his shoulders. He shrugs, his shoulders heavy, his silence a weight too big to name. A knot twists in my stomach, sharp and cold, the first cut of betrayal slicing through, leaving me raw. I stand, my hands trembling, and stumble to the living room, the dining room's warmth now suffocating like a blanket I can't breathe under. My eyes catch the wall where a faded photo of our childhood home once hung, Mom and Dad smiling with us as kids, the frame worn from years of love. Now it's gone, replaced by Natasha's engagement portrait, her smile wide. Preston's arm draped around her, their happiness framed in gold, gleaming under the light. My past erased for her future. My throat burns, tears pricking as I stare, the room spinning slightly. Aunt Eileen follows, her slippers whispering on the floor, her voice gentle but edged with worry. "Celeste, honey, let's talk this out. Maybe there's a misunderstanding." I shake my head, words stuck like stones, my gaze locked on Natasha's face, glowing where mine used to be, a sister I thought I knew. How long had they planned this? I turn back to the dining room where Mom's now chatting with Natasha about caterers, her voice light as if my world hasn't just cracked open. I walk back, my steps heavy, my voice low but steady, each word a struggle. "When did you decide this, Mom? When did you sell my house?" She waves a hand, dismissing me like a child asking for too much, her bracelet jangling. "A few weeks ago. It's not a big deal. We'll find you a new place, something better." Weeks. My breath catches the room, spinning, the table's edge biting into my palms as I grip it, trying to anchor myself. They'd sat here week after week, pouring coffee, laughing, sharing stories. While my home was already gone, Eileen steps closer, her voice sharper, her gray hair catching the light, her hands clasped tightly. Diane, you didn't tell her. That's not right, not even a little. Mom's face tightens, her lips a thin line, but she stays silent, adjusting a napkin with precision as if order can erase this. As she reaches for her purse, a folded paper slips out, fluttering to the floor like a confession caught in the act. I bend down my fingers, brushing the crisp edge of a contract, my address printed in bold at the top, the sale date stamped 3 weeks ago. My signature scrawled in ink I've never touched, a clumsy imitation. My stomach drops, a cold wave crashing over me, chilling my bones. They forged it. My own parents. I hold the paper, my hands shaking as Mom's eyes meet mine, unflinching, daring me to challenge her. I clutch the contract, my fingers crumpling the edges, the forged signature staring back like a stranger's scrawl mocking me. Mom reaches for it, her voice sharp, cutting through the tension like a knife. Celeste, put that down. It's not what you think. Not what I think, I snap louder than I meant, the room freezing, forks pausing midair, eyes turning. You signed my name. You sold my home. She freezes, then leans back, crossing her arms, her face a mask of calm control, her bracelet glinting. Natasha needs this wedding, Celeste. You're strong. You'll bounce back. Her words slice deeper than the betrayal, each syllable dismissing everything I've built, like my life's a footnote to Natasha's story. I turn to Natasha, slumped at the table, scrolling her phone, her hair catching the sunlight like a halo. She doesn't deserve her nails tapping the screen. Did you know? I ask, my voice trembling, searching for the sister I thought I knew. The one I stayed up late for helping with her essays. She glances up, her eyes flicking to Mom before settling on me, cool and detached, her lips barely moving. Yeah, I knew. You don't need a house right now. You're not even married, no kids. My breath catches shallow and sharp, her words a slap stinging my face. I see us years ago, me working double shifts to cover her college fees, skipping my own dreams to lift hers, my savings drained for her textbooks, my weekends spent tutoring her. Her shrug, careless and cold, burns worse than Mom's dismissal, a betrayal of its own. I step outside, the cool air hitting my face like a splash of water sharp against the heat in my chest. I pace the driveway, my shoes crunching gravel, each step grounding me as my mind replays moving into my house. The fairy lights I strung in the backyard twinkling under summer stars. The creak of floorboards I'd learned to love, the smell of coffee in my tiny kitchen. The mugs I'd collected from flea markets. That house was my proof I could stand alone, my anchor. And Natasha thinks I don't need it. I kick a pebble, watching it skitter into the grass, my anger bubbling like a storm ready to break thunder in my veins. Back inside the dining room, hums with tension, the air thick with unspoken words. Sheila, Natasha's wedding planner, sweeps in her clipboard, bursting with fabric swatches, her perfume cloying her heels, clicking on the floor. Celeste, you must be so excited for your sister, she chirps, her smile wide and oblivious, her earrings dangling. I force a nod, my throat burning, the word, excited a mockery, a knife twisting. My home's gone, and she's talking about Tool. I glance at Dad, searching for a flicker of remorse, but he's stacking plates, his movements mechanical, his eyes anywhere but mine. Eileen's gaze meets mine, her face tight with sympathy, but even she can't undo this. A neighbor, Margaret, lingers by the doorway, her eyes curious, sensing the fracture, her coffee cup paused halfway to her lips. I sit, the contract still in my hand, its edges biting my palm sharp and real. Natasha, how could you let this happen? I ask softer, hoping for a trace of the sister I loved, the one who'd borrow my sweaters and laugh with me. She rolls her eyes, her voice sharp cutting. Stop being dramatic. It's just a house. You'll get another one. Mom nods, her tone final, her bracelet jangling as she gestures a sound that grates. Exactly. We're family, Celeste. We make sacrifices. Sacrifices. The word chokes me. My sacrifices for them flashing through my mind, missed trips, late nights, all for Natasha's dreams, her future. Now my home's the price of her fairy tale wedding. I stand again, my legs unsteady, and walk to the window, the glass cool against my fingertips. Outside the street is quiet. Kids biking past, their laughter faint against the storm inside me, their tires humming on the pavement. I think of nights in my house, planning a future I'd earned, the walls holding my dreams like a promise, the couch where I'd read late into the night. Now they're funding Natasha's venue, her dress, her perfect day. The contract feels heavy, a truth I can't unsee, its weight grounding me. They planned this and I'm supposed to smile and accept it. My heart races, a fire sparking, urging me to dig deeper into their betrayal, to find the truth they're hiding. The contract's forged signature haunts me all night, a ghost in my mind keeping sleep at bay, the moonlight filtering through my curtains, casting shadows on the ceiling. My house, my refuge gone, and they act like it's nothing, like I'm nothing. I need answers. Morning dawns gray, the air heavy with coming rain, the sky low and brooding. I drive to Marcus, my lawyer, his office, a cluttered haven of files and coffee mugs, the faint hum of a radio playing old jazz in the background. I hand him the contract, my hands unsteady, the paper creased from my grip, its edges worn. Marcus, they forged my name. Can we fix this? He scans it, his glasses slipping his brow, creasing his fingers, tapping the desk. Celeste, this is bad, he says, leaning back, his chair creaking under him. You put the house in a family trust years ago, right? I nod, my stomach sinking like a stone dropped in deep water. At 25, I'd signed it. Mom's voice warm, promising it was for our future. Her hand steady as she handed me the pen, her chamomile tea steaming on the table. Marcus sighs, rubbing his temple, his eyes tired but kind. That trust gave them control. The sale's legal, unless we prove fraud, and that's a steep climb, expensive and slow. I slump in the chair, the fluorescent light harsh overhead buzzing faintly. I flash to that day. Mom convinced me to sign, her smile so sure, the kitchen smelling of her tea, the papers crisp under my fingers. I was young, pouring every cent into that house, thinking it was mine forever, my safe place. Now I see it, a trap laid years ago, her warmth a mask to hide their plans. Marcus taps his pen, his eyes grim but steady. There's more. The buyer's tied to Natasha's fiancé, Preston. He pushed for the sale, wanted a high-end venue, something to impress. My jaw tightens, my nails digging into my palms, the pain sharp. Preston with his slick suits and fake charm, his laughter at brunch as he passed the syrup, knowing he'd orchestrated this. I picture him now, his smug grin, and my anger flares hot and bright. I leave Marcus's words heavy as the humid air outside, the sky threatening to break, the streets slick with mist. I drive to the county records office, needing proof in black and white, my hands gripping the wheel. The clerk, Joyce, her hair in a tired bun, her glasses fogged, pulls up the sale on her computer, her fingers clicking softly on the keyboard. My address sold for $320,000, funds, wired to an account I don't know, the numbers stark on the screen. My signature, a clumsy fake, glares, mocking me with its loops. Joyce looks up, her voice soft, almost pitying, her eyes meeting mine. You didn't know, did you? I shake my head. My throat too tight to speak, the numbers blurring as my savings dissolve into a transaction, my dreams reduced to digits. In my car, I grip the steering wheel. My knuckles pale, the leather warm under my hands. The rain starting to patter on the windshield. Fraud. They lied, used my trust to steal my home. I think of the lavender I planted, its scent filling my evenings, the kitchen table where I'd sketched my future, the chair where I'd sat dreaming of a life I'd built. All gone for Natasha's big day. My phone buzzes, Mom's text. Come to dinner tonight. We need to talk. I stare, anger flaring hot and sharp, my fingers trembling. Talk. Now. I drive to their house, my pulse pounding, ready to face the truth of their betrayal, to demand answers they can't dodge. I pull into their driveway, the gravel sharp under my tires, each crunch fueling the storm in my chest, rain streaking the windows. The house smells of roasted chicken, a scent that once meant comfort, but now feels hollow, like a stage set for a play I don't belong in. Mom sets the table, Her movements brisk, a silver bracelet jangling on her wrist, a new shine I hadn't noticed its gleam catching the light. Dad sits in his recliner, flipping a newspaper, the pages rustling too loudly in the tense air, his hands unsteady. I don't sit. I hold up the contract, my voice steady, despite the fire inside each word heavy. You forged my signature. How could you? Mom's face tightens, but she keeps arranging napkins, folding them with care as if precision can erase this moment. Celeste, you're blowing this out of proportion. It's for Natasha's future. Family unity. I laugh sharp and bitter, the sound echoing in the quiet room, startling even me, my breath hitching. Unity. You stole my home. Dad looks up, his eyes tired, lines deeper than I remember etched like a map of guilt across his face. We didn't steal. We made a choice. The money's gone to the wedding venue. $50,000 for the deposit alone. My breath catches my vision narrowing, the room tilting. $50,000, my years of scraping by my sacrifices reduced to a deposit for Natasha's dream. I press harder, my voice low but trembling, each word a fight. Whose idea was this? Mom hesitates. Her eyes flicking to Dad, a silent signal passing between them, her fingers pausing on a napkin. It was a family decision, she says, her voice flat. Final, shutting me out. I step closer. My hands shaking, the contract creasing further in my grip, its edges cutting into my palm. Stop lying. I know Preston pushed for it. Mom's gaze darts to Dad, but he stays silent. His newspaper forgotten, crumpled in his lap, his hands still. I turn to leave, the air too thick, my chest tight, when I spot a stack of letters on the side table, yellowed, tied with twine, the paper brittle under my touch. Grandma's handwriting, delicate and familiar, catches my eye, a name from a softer time. I grab them, ignoring Mom's sharp protest, her voice rising. Celeste, those are private. I don't care, my voice a whisper as I clutch them, the twine rough against my fingers. In my car, I untie the bundle, my hands trembling, the rain tapping the roof. A letter 10 years old addressed to me in Grandma's careful script, the ink faded but clear. Her words firm and loving, for Celeste to build her life. The house was mine. Her gift, her trust, meant to root me in the world, to give me wings. My heart sinks, a new wound opening deeper than the last, tearing at the edges. They knew. They ignored her wishes, her love for me, her hope for my future. I drive to Clara's, my neighbor, my mind a blur, the road streaking past like my thoughts, the wipers swiping rhythmically. She opens her door, her face softening, her living room cozy with the smell of cinnamon and old books, a quilt draped over the couch. I heard about the sale, she says, pulling me inside. Her voice gentle, her hands warm as she sits me down. I saw your mom with realtors months ago, Celeste, at the cafe down the street, whispering over coffee. They planned it in secret. I sit, the letters heavy in my lap, her words sinking in like cold rain, chilling my bones. Months. They'd hugged me, shared coffee, laughed at brunch, all while dismantling my life. My chest feels ready to crack their deception, a weight I can't shake, a noose tightening with every breath. I need to face them again, but the truth is already suffocating me, a truth I can't escape. I stand outside the venue, Natasha's engagement party, alive with laughter spilling through open windows like a song I can't sing, the air warm with summer's end. My hands shake as I smooth my navy dress, the same one I've worn to every family gathering, its fabric worn but familiar. Now feeling like a lie, I'm draped in heavy on my shoulders. Clara's words about Mom's secret meetings and Grandma's letter burn in my mind, each one a spark to my anger, a fire growing. Inside, fairy lights twinkle, tables draped in white linen, Natasha radiant in a silk gown that shimmers like moonlight, her laughter cutting through the hum. I force a smile, gripping a wine glass, the stem cool and slick against my palm, as guests swirl around me. Their chatter a dull roar in my ears, their perfumes mingling. Natasha waves me over, her voice bright, slicing through the noise like a bell. Celeste, come meet everyone. I join her. My stomach twisting as she introduces me to Preston's friends, their faces lit with excitement, their cologne sharp in the crowded room, their ties loosened. The venue's booked, one says, a vineyard estate sprawling and grand with rolling hills. Must have cost a fortune. My smile cracks my fingers tightening around the glass, the wine sloshing slightly threatening to spill. My house paid for it, every nail, every dream, every late night I worked to own it. I nod, my throat burning, trying to hold myself together, my face a mask I can barely maintain. A woman, maybe Preston's cousin Ellen, touches my arm. Her perfume sharp, her nails painted a glossy red, her smile warm but oblivious. Celeste, right? Didn't you love that little house you had? I heard it sold. Her words land like a blow, casual but piercing, cutting through my defenses. I stare, the glass trembling in my hand, the room tilting slightly. Yeah, I loved it. I whisper, my voice barely there, swallowed by the chatter, my heart racing. She prattles on about Natasha's wedding, the event of the year, her words fading as my pulse thunders in my ears. My chest tightens, the air thick, as I search for an exit, my breath shallow, the lights too bright, the room closing in. I spot Mom across the room, laughing with Preston's mother Gloria, their champagne flutes clinking, the sound sharp in the festive hum, their dresses rustling. Gloria's voice carries smug and loud, her pearls gleaming under the chandeliers. Natasha deserves this, Diane. She's the perfect bride, a vision. My blood boils hot and fast, a wave crashing inside me. Perfect while my life's torn apart for her moment. I set my glass down, the clink loud in my ears, my hands clenching and move toward them, my heart pounding like a drum in my chest, each step heavy. I don't plan to shout, but something breaks a dam, giving way, my voice spilling out. Mom, I say too loud, eyes turning the room, hushing conversations pausing. Did you tell Gloria how you paid for this? How you sold my house behind my back? The silence is deafening. Natasha's laughter cuts short, her heels clicking as she pushes through the crowd, her face flushed, her eyes sharp, her gown rustling like a warning. Celeste, you're embarrassing me. Stop it. She hisses, her voice low but venomous, her hands clenched. I turn, my heart pounding so hard it drowns out the murmurs, my hands trembling at my sides, my breath hitching. Embarrassing you, I say, my voice cracking raw with pain echoing in the quiet. You let them sell my house for this. You knew. Her eyes widen, but she doesn't deny it. Her lips parting slightly, her gaze darting to the crowd. She steps closer, her words sharp as glass, cutting deep. You're selfish, Celeste, always making everything about you. I stagger back, her accusation a knife twisting in my chest, my breath shallow. Selfish. I'd given years for her, for them, my savings, my time, my dreams, and now I'm the villain. Mom grabs my arm, her grip tight, her nails digging in her voice, a forced whisper, her perfume sharp. Let's talk outside, Celeste, now. I yank free, my eyes burning, tears threatening to spill. No, you don't get to control this. I face the crowd, my voice rising raw and unsteady, trembling with truth. They forged my signature. They took my home for her wedding. Gasps ripple through the guests, a low murmur spreading like wildfire. Dad stands his chair, scraping, his voice steady but cold, cutting through the tension like a blade. Celeste, you agreed to the trust. You knew this could happen. I stare, my breath shallow, my vision narrowing, the room spinning. Knew I'd trusted them, believed the trust was for our family, not to strip me bare, to leave me with nothing. Natasha chimes in, her tone mocking, her eyes glinting under the lights. You're overreacting. It's just a house. You'll get over it. Then I see it by the dessert table, half hidden in Mom's open purse. Its leather gleaming bank statements, their edges peeking out a corner folded. I grab them, my hands trembling, and scan the top page, the ink stark against the paper. A transfer last week from the house sale to a vacation home. Deposit the numbers cold and final. My vision blurs, tears mixing with rage, my breath hitching, my heart pounding. They didn't just fund Natasha's wedding. They took the rest for themselves, their own dreams. I hold up the statement, my voice shaking but loud echoing in the hushed room, the crowd frozen. You used my money for a vacation home. Mom's face pales, her champagne flute trembling in her hand, and Dad steps forward. His voice softer, almost pleading, his eyes tired. Celeste, we'll fix this. Just calm down. Fix it. I laugh raw and broken, the sound tearing from my throat, echoing in my ears. They stand there surrounded by flowers and champagne, their faces a mask of false calm, while my world crumbles. I'm hollow, my heart shattered, with no one to trust, the room spinning as I clutch the paper, my last tie to the life they stole. The party's lights blur as I stumble out, the bank statement crumpled in my fist, its edges cutting into my palm, sharp and real. My chest feels raw, each breath scraping like sandpaper against my ribs, the air thick with summer's end. I drive aimlessly, the city's neon signs a haze, the streets slick with recent rain, reflecting lights like scattered stars. I stop at a quiet coffee shop, its windows fogged with warmth, the smell of espresso grounding me as I slip inside. I sit in a corner, the statement spread before me. Numbers glaring my house, my dreams reduced to Natasha's wedding and my parents' getaway. A waitress, Sarah, her apron stained her hair in a loose bun, offers a kind smile, but I barely nod. My mind locked on the betrayal, my hands trembling around my coffee cup. I can't let this be the end. I need control, a way to take back what's mine. I open my laptop, my fingers trembling but steady, the screen's glow harsh in the dim shop, casting shadows on the table. I log into the family accounts I helped set up years ago, the interface familiar, but now alien. Mom and Dad's retirement fund stares back, a nest egg I'd built with every bonus, every extra shift, believing it was my duty as their daughter. My love for them poured into numbers. I see my name next to each deposit, years of trust now mocked, each number. A reminder of my sacrifices, missed vacations, late nights, my own dreams deferred for their future. They used me just like they used my house. Their gratitude a lie. I search for financial advisors, finding Curtis, his online photo showing kind eyes and a steady smile, his bio promising trust and clarity words I cling to. His office is open late, so I drive there, the statement tucked in my bag. The city's lights streaking past, the air heavy with rain. His office smells of leather and ink, his desk cluttered with papers and a half-empty coffee cup, a small plant wilting in the corner. I spill the story, my voice breaking, but clear, the words tumbling out like a flood, each one a release. Curtis listens, nodding, his face calm but empathetic, his pen pausing as he takes it in, his eyes meeting mine. Celeste, you've got options, he says, pulling up their account on his screen, the numbers stark, unyielding. You're a contributor. You can redirect your funds legally, cut their access. My heart races, a mix of fear and fire, a spark igniting. Cut them off. Could I do that to them? I think of the nights I stayed up balancing their bills while they praised Natasha's every step, their voices warm as they planned her future, never mine, my efforts invisible. I thought we were a team, a family bound by love. Curtis leans forward, his voice low, steady, his hands clasped. My brother took my savings for his business, left me with nothing. I wish I'd acted sooner. His story mirrors mine, a spark of resolve flaring in my chest, bright and fierce. I nod, my voice firm, though my hands tremble on the desk. Let's do it. I'm not just saving money. I'm saving myself, and it feels like waking from a long, dark dream, the first light breaking through, sharp and clear. Curtis guides me through the process, his voice steady as he drafts a letter to freeze my contributions to Mom and Dad's fund. His fingers quick on the keyboard, the click of keys a rhythm in the quiet office. My pen hovers over the signature line, the paper crisp under my fingers. Its edges sharp, my heart pounding, not with doubt but with clarity, sharp and new like a blade. I sign the ink, bold my name, a reclaiming of power, a line drawn in the sand, a boundary they can't cross. This isn't revenge. It's justice, a reckoning for the years I gave them, everything, my savings, my time, my trust, and they took more without a thought. Curtis prints the letter, its pages warm from the printer, the ink fresh, and I mail it, the mailboxes clang, echoing in the quiet night, a final note on the daughter. I used to be the one who always said yes. I need a place of my own, a space free from their shadow. I've been in their guest room, my life in boxes since the sale. The air heavy with their expectations, the walls closing in. I scroll rental listings on my phone. the screen's light harsh in my dark car, the rain pattering outside. I find a studio downtown, small, but with a balcony overlooking the city's pulse, its lights flickering like hope. The landlord Joyce meets me, her voice soft, her eyes kind behind wire-rimmed glasses, her cardigan loose around her shoulders. The apartment smells of fresh paint, the floors scuffed but clean, the windows letting in a soft glow. I sign the lease with savings I'd hidden away, handing over the deposit with a steady hand, the key heavy in my palm, its weight a new beginning. I can feel in my bones a promise I'm making to myself. Natasha calls, her voice syrupy, almost rehearsed, the phone's buzz jarring in the quiet. Celeste. I'm sorry if you're upset. Can we talk? Maybe you could help with the wedding budget. I laugh short and hollow, the sound surprising me, echoing in the car. She's not sorry. She wants more, her voice an echo of Mom's dismissals, her need endless. No, Natasha, I say, my voice firm, cutting through her pause, steady and sure. I'm done. She hangs up, her silence louder than any fight a void where our sisterhood used to be. I stare at my phone, waiting for guilt, but it doesn't come. Only a lightness, a freedom I haven't felt in years, like shedding a heavy coat. I find a storage unit where Mom stashed my furniture, the air musty, the space dim, lit by a flickering bulb. My kitchen table, scratched from years of use, brings tears its surface, holding memories of late-night coffees, dreams sketched on napkins, laughter with friends now faded. I call a shelter and they arrive, their smiles warm as they load my chairs, my bookshelf, pieces of my life, their van rumbling in the quiet lot. This will help so many, a volunteer. Tara says, her voice grateful, her hands gentle on my things, her eyes kind. I nod, my chest tight, but lighter the act, a release, a letting go. In my studio, I unpack a chipped mug from my house, its handle worn from my grip, its blue glaze faded but familiar, and set it on the counter, a small anchor in the bare space. I look out at the city lights, their glow sharp against the night, my reflection steady in the glass, my eyes clearer. I'm not the daughter who says yes anymore. I'm Celeste, and for the first time that's enough. A truth that settles in my bones like a quiet song, steady and true. The letter lands like a stone in still water, ripples spreading fast, shaking their world. Mom calls 2 days later. Her voice tight, almost shrill, the phone's buzz jarring in the quiet morning as I sit on my balcony, the city humming below. Celeste, what have you done? The retirement account's frozen. We can't access it. The air is cool against my skin, and I sip coffee. The mug warm in my hands, its weight grounding me, the steam rising in soft curls. You took my house, I say, my voice steady, no waver, each word deliberate. This is on you. Her silence is heavy, a void where her excuses used to fill the space, her breath catching on the line, a sound I've never heard from her. By the weekend, word spreads through our small town, whispers carried on the breeze, in the market, at the post office. Natasha's wedding plans shrink the vineyard, swapped for a local banquet hall, its faded decor and creaky floors, a far cry from her dreams, its chandeliers dim. Preston texts, his words sharp, cutting through my phone's screen like a blade. You're ruining her day, Celeste. Selfish. I delete them, my heart calm but heavy, the accusations sliding off me like rain on glass. I run into Leonard, a family friend, at the grocery store, his white hair catching the fluorescent light, his cart filled with apples and bread, the wheels squeaking. He pulls me aside by the produce, his eyes kind but serious, his voice low. Your mom's telling everyone you're selfish, but I know better. Diane's always favored Natasha, even when you were kids, always put her first. I nod grateful, but her narrative stings, a reminder of the daughter I used to be, always chasing her approval, always falling short. I walk home, my bag heavy with groceries for my bare kitchen, the plastic handles digging into my palms, the air smelling of wet pavement. The town buzzes with their financial strain, their vacation home deposit canceled, the one I'd seen on that bank statement, their dreams unraveling. I overhear a neighbor, Susan, at the market, her voice low, pitying Mom and Dad's troubles, her eyes darting as she speaks, her scarf fluttering. It's strange watching them unravel, knowing I pulled the thread that undid their plans, their safety net. I'd built it for years, my savings poured into their future, my love for them, a currency they spent without thought. Mom leaves a voicemail, her voice cracking, the sound raw through my phone's speaker, trembling slightly. Celeste, you're tearing this family apart. Think about what you're doing to us. I replay it, each word a pinprick, sharp but fleeting, no longer cutting deep. I don't call back, my fingers still on the phone, my coffee cooling. I stand in my apartment, the walls bare, the air smelling faintly of paint, and feel their choices, not mine, pressing down a weight I no longer carry. They expected me to bend, to forgive, to carry their world forever. I'm not that person anymore. Their silence is loud, a frozen moment where I hold the power, and it scares them, a truth I feel in the quiet of my new space, the city's hum, a steady backdrop. I sit on my couch. Mom's voicemail fading, her words lingering like damp air after a storm, heavy but fleeting. I book a session with Renee, my therapist, needing to unravel the knot in my chest, the tangle of their blame, and my resolve, the air in my apartment still and cool. Her office smells of lavender, the soft scent a comfort as I sink into the chair, its fabric worn but soft, the walls lined with books. They're blaming me, I say, my voice low, steady, though my hands fidget. Renee nods, her eyes steady, her notepad untouched, her presence calm. You set a boundary, Celeste. Their reaction isn't your burden. I exhale, her words a lifeline cutting through the fog, but their anger clings a shadow. I can't fully shake a whisper of the daughter I was. A note slips under my door, Dad's handwriting, shaky, the paper thin and creased, its edges soft from handling. We need to talk. I can repay you. Meet me at the diner tomorrow. I stare, my pulse quickening, the words blurring under the lamplight. Repay me. With what I think of the vacation home deposit, the wedding funds, their promises, all hollow. It's a trap, another pullback into their world, their control, their narrative. I tuck the note away, my resolve firm, the paper crumpling in my hand, its sound sharp in the quiet. A shelter volunteer, Tara calls, her voice hesitant but kind. The phones ring soft in the morning light. They found my childhood keepsakes in storage things. I thought safe in my house, locked away. I drive over, my heart tight, the road blurring as I grip the wheel, the city waking around me. In the dim storage unit, I open the box, sketchbooks with my teenage doodles, Grandma's locket, its clasp tarnished, a photo of me at 10, all tossed in carelessly like trash. Tara frowns, her hands clasped, her apron smudged. Someone tried selling these at a pawn shop. For a wedding. Natasha. My breath catches a new wound, tearing open sharp and raw, my hands trembling as I hold the locket. She took even my memories, my past, for extra cash. Her greed a blade I didn't see coming. I walk back, the box heavy in my arms, its weight grounding me against the ache, the city's hum steady around me. Another voicemail from Mom, softer pleading, her voice trembling through the speaker, fragile in a way I've never heard. Celeste, we're struggling. Please talk to us. I set the phone down, my eyes on the box, the locket glinting faintly in the light. Their panic is real, their world shifting because I stopped carrying their weight. There's no triumph, just a quiet ache, a longing for the family I thought we were, the one I built in my mind. The city's lights flicker outside, casting long shadows across my floor, and their silence settles over me like dusk, heavy and final, a chapter closing without my permission, leaving me in the quiet of my own truth. Sunlight streams through my studio's window, the city stirring below, horns faint in the morning air, the air crisp with autumn's edge. My apartment is sparse, a couch, a rickety table, but it's mine, the air smelling of possibility, of new beginnings. I spend the morning at a thrift store picking out a mismatched lamp, its brass base dented but warm, glowing softly in a faded rug, its pattern soft underfoot, each piece a small claim to this new life, a canvas I'm painting myself. Arranging them, I feel a shift, like I'm building something real, something they can't touch, my hands steady as I adjust the lamp's shade. My phone stays silent. No calls from Mom or Natasha, and the stillness feels like a gift, not a wound, a space to breathe, to be. I call Aunt Eileen, needing someone who sees me, not the daughter I was supposed to be, the one who always gave. Her kitchen is warm, the smell of fresh bread wrapping around us as we sit with tea. The cups clinking softly, steam rising in curls. She talks about Mom's past, how she favored Natasha even as kids. Her voice soft but heavy with truth. Her hands clasped around her mug. It wasn't about you, Celeste. It was her guilt, her choices, her need to fix something broken in herself. Her words sink deep, untangling years of feeling less than, of chasing a love I couldn't earn, my heart lighter with each syllable. I see myself as a child braiding wildflowers with Eileen, my laughter free in her backyard, the grass tickling my knees, the sun warm on my face. I was enough then, wasn't I? Just me, not the sister who needed saving. I walk home, the air crisp, the city's pulse steady around me, leaves crunching underfoot. I stop at a nursery buying a pot of marigolds, their orange petals bold against the gray day, their scent earthy. On my balcony, I plant them, my hands in the cool soil, each root a promise, a life I'm choosing, my fingers stained with dirt. My reflection in the glass door is softer. My eyes clearer, the lines of my face less heavy, less burdened. I'm not whole, but I'm here standing tall, my heart steady. The marigolds sway bright against the city's gray, and I breathe in the scent of earth grounding me, letting go of the anger without losing myself, a quiet victory in the stillness. The marigolds catch the day's last light, their petals glowing against the fading sky, a quiet defiance, and I feel a pull to do more, to rebuild beyond these walls, to claim my space. I've been sketching again late at night, my notebook filling with lines that feel like pieces of me returning each stroke, a reclaiming of who I am. I sign up to teach art at a community center, a small gig that sparks something inside, a flicker of purpose, a warmth I haven't felt in months. The first class, I stand before kids, their pencils scratching, their laughter soft, filling the room with life, their chatter a melody. I show them how to shade a horizon, my hands steady, my voice calm, guiding them through each line. And for a moment, I'm just Celeste, not the daughter who lost everything, not the sister pushed aside, but me, whole and present. Natasha's wedding invite arrives, a cream envelope with gold script slipped under my door, its weight heavy in my hand, the paper cool. I hold it expecting anger but find calm, a quiet strength I didn't know I had, steady like a heartbeat. Her note inside is careful, measured, please come. Let's fix this. I set it down untouched and walk to my table where Grandma's photo sits. Her smile steady in a wooden frame, her eyes kind, unwavering. She gave me that house to stand tall, not to chain me to their choices, their needs. I think of the years I spent bending, giving, trying to be enough for them. My heart stretched thin, my dreams deferred. Now teaching those kids, planting my flowers. I'm building something they can't touch, a life that's mine, rooted in me. I open my notebook, sketching a new horizon, the lines bold and free, the page alive with possibility, my hand steady. I don't need their apology or their table to feel whole. The city hums below, alive and indifferent, its lights pulsing like a heartbeat, steady and sure. I step inside the invite still on the counter and choose silence, not out of spite, but because I'm enough a truth that settles softly. I light a candle, its glow soft against the bare walls, and sit in the quiet, my breath slow, my heart steady, ready for what's next, a new chapter waiting. The weeks slip by and my apartment feels like home, its corners softening with my touch, the air lighter. I hang paper lanterns above the window, their glow warming the evenings, casting patterns on the ceiling, a soft dance of light. I build a routine, mornings with coffee and a book, the pages worn from my fingers, the words a quiet companion. Evenings teaching art to kids, whose messy dreams remind me of my own, their voices bright in the community center's plain room, its walls scuffed but warm. Their drawings taped to the walls crinkle in the breeze, bringing a smile I haven't felt in months, a lightness I thought I'd lost. I'm finding my rhythm, a life carved from my choices, not theirs, each day a step away from their shadow, a step toward me. I meet Eileen for lunch, her laugh filling a small cafe, the clink of cups, a soft backdrop, the air smelling of fresh pastries and brewed tea. She says Natasha's wedding went ahead smaller, but hers in a banquet hall with faded chandeliers and worn carpet. Mom and Dad are managing, though strained, their voices quieter in town, their steps heavier. I listen, my heart steady, untethered from their chaos. The weight of their expectations gone like a chain I've slipped free from. I think of the nights I chased their approval, measuring my worth by their nods, my heart heavy with trying my efforts unseen. Now it's in the kids' laughter, the mornings I wake without dread, the quiet of my own space, my own light. I start journaling, not sketches, but words spilling the ache of losing my house, the sting of their betrayal, but also the strength I found, each sentence a step toward clarity, a map of my heart. I write about watching the city wake the skyline, a promise I can keep, its edges sharp against the dawn, its colors soft but sure. I'm not running from the pain anymore. I'm living through it, building something new, something mine, something they can't touch. One evening I walked to the community center, my bag heavy with art supplies, the straps digging into my shoulder, the air cool with dusk. A kid, Mia, hands me a drawing of a house, stick figures, smiling out front, their lines wobbly but earnest, their colors bold. "It's you," she says, grinning, her braids swinging, her eyes bright. I look, my throat tight, and see not my old house, but a home I'm building inside myself, a place no one can take, rooted in me. I thank her, tucking the drawing away, and step outside, the cool air brushing my face. My steps light, my heart open to what lies ahead, a future I'm shaping. I take walks at dusk, the city's glow softening as I pass corner stores with flickering signs and quiet parks, their benches damp with evening dew, the air smelling of leaves and rain. Each step is a conversation with myself, a chance to hear the woman I'm becoming, her voice clearer now, steady and sure. Grandma's locket rests on my nightstand, its tarnished clasp catching the light, its weight a reminder of her belief in me, her love a constant I carry. I don't need the house to hold her love. I carry it in how I live, in the boundaries I set, in the quiet moments I let myself exist fully and without apology, my heart lighter. One night I sit with Renee, my therapist, her office a haven of soft light, the walls lined with books, their spines worn, the air calm and still. "You've rebuilt your sense of self," she says, her voice gentle, her pen still, her eyes steady on mine. "That's the real home, Celeste, the one no one can take." I nod. Seeing I'd sought their approval when I only needed my own, my heart no longer tied to their voices, their needs. Mom. Dad. Natasha's wedding, they're a story that's not mine anymore, a chapter closed. I don't hate them. I just don't need them to define me, a truth that settles like a quiet tide, soft but sure. The lesson comes slowly, like dawn creeping over the skyline, its light soft but certain, painting the city in hues of gold. Family isn't a debt you owe or a chain you wear. It's a choice, and so is your worth. I learned to choose myself, not from anger, but because I deserve to stand tall, to breathe without their weight, to live without their shadow. I write one last journal entry, not for them, but for me, closing the book with a soft sigh, the pages heavy with my truth, my heart steady. I'm enough, and that's the freedom I've been searching for, a light I found in the quiet of my own heart, a flame that burns softly but won't go out. What's a moment you chose yourself when you let go of someone else's expectations? Share it below. I'd love to hear your story, to know what set you free. If this resonated, please like, subscribe, or share it with someone who might need it, someone finding their own light. Thank you for walking this path with me, for staying through the storm. Here's to healing, to new beginnings, and to finding your own light, steady and true.